Friends, there is a part in Enscape that I haven't explained yet, but it's important. Enscape's own model library. Let's move Enscape over here. Look, there is a tree icon above. The asset library, it is visible. We will use it. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, for instance, if you see white parts in your work, these white parts are actually proxies. They appear white here, but in the render, they are actually the model. Friends, let me show you like this. Let's turn back. As you can see, for example, the vase, the materials here, the candle holder, and the accessory here. All of these appear white. However, these are proxy models, and Enscape's model library works well. Let me show you, friends. For instance, let's add a model here. There's a topic I always mention. If you use a render engine's library, in a random manner, you can really produce amazing work because you need to explore the library to see what is where. There are truly beautiful elements, components within the library. Look, for example, when I come to this part here, I mentioned wall elements to you, if you remember. For instance, let's scroll down. There are such botanical elements for the wall. These are for outdoor use, but there are some important elements we will use indoors. Friends, I want to show you some of them. Let's scroll down like this. There are a variety of materials. Look, for example, wall elements like these. Look, when you click here, it tells you there are 4 types of models. Friends, look, as it appears like this. We can use these. To use them, you double click. The model came here, I clicked here, friends. Then I close this. This model, with the flat back surface, will go against the wall. With the move command, look, I take it like this. Place it like this, it stayed inside the wall. Look, as you can see, I'm looking from above, pushing it towards the wall like this. When it reaches the line of the wall, I let it go like this, friends. I will also show it in the render shortly. It already looks very nice in the render. Let's do it like this. Move. Command to lift it upwards. Let's do it like this. Look. Let's move to the render, friends. As you can see, I had mentioned such a wall, if you remember. We can also lower a different version of this wall, downwards. Or we can lift this one upwards a bit if you like. In fact, let's do this, friends. Let's enlarge it a bit on the sides. We can even do something like this. I mean, of course, the limit in design, we can put a lamp on its right and left. Or we can place them here to make it even brighter. Let's put one here. Let's open a different model. Let's do this one down here, friends. Let's come to this part again. You can import the model by double-clicking. Look, there are many models here. You can use these as well. They are very nice models. Let's see. For example, this one could be, or a different model from this one. It could be this or that. Let me take this one. Let's do it like this. Again, I'm rotating it, using the move command by looking from above. I will move it up. I will come a bit more. Over here, friends. Let me enlarge it a bit more in scale. Let the others come to the same size. Like this. This could be a process like this. Look, here's an event like this. We have created a different ambience here. The spots fell here very nicely. In fact, we can make different types of lamps, like a night lamp, here and there. Friends, I had done something like this on the floor, but whether it worked or not, you can change it now. I had done something like this. A different situation emerged. Our plastering was quite nice. Our models here are quite nice, friends. These models can be changed, friends. We can change them. I mean, we can change the model over there. We can use Enscape's own models again. For example, we will do it like this for that. You enter inside and you delete this with the delete key, friends. You come from the settings, from the planting section over there. Look, there are different plantings here. You can add one of them there. It could be a flower. It could be different ambiances. Look, it could be something like this. What is it? I think this is newly added. I'm seeing this for the first time as well. Let's see. Yes, this type of plant looks like a daisy. Friends, it could be. You can use these. Let's center it a bit more here. Now, if you ask you what the difference is between the normal Enscape library and the normal model library, the difference is this, friends. If you use Enscape's own library, the models won't lag, and you have the opportunity to use a lot of models. So while you might use a lot of whites, normally, using normal SketchUp models might change the situation a bit, friends, because when you use the whites, that is proxy models, it doesn't cause much lag in the model. I also want to delete this. Let's delete that too, because it had gone into the carpet. There's a slight... Yes, our file has closed, friends. I had mentioned this. We will continue from where we left off. I had deleted it, friends, the carpet. We will continue the lesson from where we left off.